Hi, my name is Isabelle, and I'm here today to share my journey preparing for the GMAT using Target Test Prep. A little background about me is that I recently graduated from college with a degree in finance from an undergraduate business school in May, and I was interested in pursuing an MBA, am interested in pursuing an MBA sometime post-graduation. And I decided to take the GMAT during the summer before starting my new postgrad job so that I could focus on my preparation and then have the test in my back pocket to use when I do decide to apply to MBA programs. And so in late June, I returned from my postgrad travels and decided to start my prep. And this prep lasted from late June until late August, so about 2 months, where I was focusing entirely on the GMAT. So I studied around 40 hours per week and didn't have anything else really on my mind or in my time other than the GMAT. At the start of this journey, I was looking for a test prep company to structure my studying because I had no prior experience with the GMAT. And I looked a little bit on the internet, but saw kind of a lot of different options, including Target Test Prep. And then I asked some friends if they had any experience with the GMAT and Target Test Prep. And I had a friend who was in a similar position to me a year prior, really strongly recommend Target Test Prep for a similar situation. So I decided to start the Target Test Prep free trial, and I liked what I saw and decided to enroll. So starting Target Test Prep, some of the most helpful things for me include the calendar format, the error log, the chapter tests, and the integration of the official guide. So starting with the calendar format, I was able to structure my calendar based on when I started studying, how many hours per week I wanted to study, if I wanted any off days, and when my final test would be. And the calendar format really showed me what I needed to do each day in order to complete the course by my test day. And so I knew, looking out onto any given week, what I would be studying that week and how much I needed to study to stay on track. And it also showed me what different types of things I would be doing, including reading a chapter, taking a chapter test, or reviewing things on the error log. And that was helpful to me as someone who likes to plan, to know what I was looking at. Moving on to the chapter tests, I found those super helpful to reinforce the knowledge that I built through reading the chapter. I hadn't done a lot of the Quant problems or reviewed that kind of information in over 4 years since high school, and so it was helpful to me to read the chapters, take notes using the Target Test Prep note format, so that I wouldn't have to return to the chapters to review, and then to take the tests to reinforce my knowledge. While there are a lot of tests, hitting the target accuracy really helped me to be confident in my abilities. And then when I would take review tests later, I often or always had all of the information in my mind because I had reviewed it so intensely right after taking the chapter test. I also appreciated the error log because it helped me to review where I would make repeated mistakes of the same kind, even if it was different types of questions, and notice how I needed to train my brain to think more accurately and not, for example, make dumb math mistakes. I think at the start, I really struggled with moving too fast trying to answer the question, but through the course, I started to develop a fast but accurate way of thinking through problems where I wouldn't have to do everything fast and then double check, but more so I would go through slowly and know that I was accurate when I answered the questions, which I developed through my error tracker, seeing that I had made so many dumb mistakes. And then I also appreciated about Target Test Prep was the integration of the official guide into Target Test Prep, because every time that I would finish a chapter, there would be optional questions through the official guide, which helped me to see official GMAT questions that weren't just the target test prep questions and review the information through that avenue and know that I was preparing not only through the way that target test prep writes questions, but also the way that GMAT writes questions. Then, after completing the course, it was time for me to take the official practice tests. And I took my first official practice test after completing the entire course and earned a 645, which I was moderately satisfied with, but I had skipped a few questions and not answered them at all at the end of the data insights chapter or section. And so I knew that I could do better. And I went back after seeing this and reviewed my analytics on target test prep and saw that I was in fact spending too long on data insights questions. So I kind of trained my brain to move faster through them and reviewed the information on strategically guessing and moving forward if I knew that I wasn't ready or I wouldn't be able to answer a question fast enough. And that helped me immensely for the rest of my practice tests and my actual exam. On the rest of my practice tests, I scored in the range that I was comfortable with, which was 685 plus. And then on the actual exam, I scored a 695, which I credit to being calm and prepared and confident due to all of my preparation using target test prep and the official guide and the mock practice tests. So my advice to anyone starting their journey for studying for the GMAT is to find a test prep source. I would recommend target test prep to structure your studying, and so you're not just doing random practice problems with no specific targeted skill or information in sight. And then also take it easy on test day to be able to really rely on all of the preparation that you have built for yourself. Good luck!